man, it seemed like Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yeah.
It felt like back then. We had 3 or 4 months off in the summertime.
Yeah, it did seem like it was longer way back when. My wife has a theory about that. She thinks they're creeping into eventually having school year round.
Oh, really?
Kind of leak it up, a little bit at a time.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have a fall break when I was a kid, so that's kind of nice. You get October weekend.
Well, they have the fall break, spring break, and then, Christmas break.
I guess Christmas break is a little, it's 180 days, right? They split the year. I think that's how that works. So you've got to be in the classroom 180 days, something like that.
I have no idea.
Well, hey, man, it's election week. And
when is election day?
It's on Thursday.
This Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday the 6th. Your polls open in the morning, I believe, at 8 a.m. and till 7 p.m. And so it'll be your local voting precinct now. So all the different precincts around the county.
Yes.
I don't know how many we have. I think we have about 20 maybe or more.
Yeah.
So find your local precinct where you are, where you live, and get out there and vote. It matters. Voting is very important, and we need every American needs to show up and vote. And that's one of the things that, man, I hope we see. We've been able to see early voting. Man, this last weekend was packed, and so people were just coming in and out Friday and Saturday.
I was going to ask if you knew anything about how heavy the early voting was.
Well, the numbers were actually down a little bit prior to the weekend, so I don't know. We're going to look at the tally today and see where it's at, but numbers were down around 30% less than 2022. So, not sure why that is or how that is. 2022 is coming off of COVID. There may have been who knows, maybe more people wanting to get out to vote based on what was going on at the time. So anyway, love to get people out to vote this week on Thursday. Early voting's over, and we burned the candle at both ends all day Saturday.
Now listen, we had fun.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Yeah, we I woke up about 3:30 that morning and just couldn't go back to sleep. Was drinking coffee, and then next thing you know, we were just going at about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We just were headed out doing what we do. So
yep.
And then we got coffee.
Yeah, well, I had some before we went. She's naturally caffeinated anyway, so Stephanie doesn't.
Full of pep is somebody.
I mean, the morning time is the best time.
Yeah, I love mornings, obviously.
Yeah, you're a morning guy.
I get up every morning early, and whether I have to or not, I just am such a habit. Yeah. But anyway,
getting in the bed early is the key for me, and that doesn't happen often enough. So it comes 5:30, 6 o'clock, my alarm starts going off. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, good Lord, it's morning. And you're the guy that's like, good morning, Lord, right?
Thank the Lord, it's morning.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Let's stop. I'm done sleeping. Let's go.
Good deal. Well, I know you've been really working hard on the campaign and all that. Been a challenging campaign, I'm sure, but I wanted to ask you about just issues that are facing the county. Okay. And not necessarily, conflicts or troubles or this, that, and the other, but issues that you see that the county is going to be facing over the next 4 years, things that need to be addressed, handled. What are the challenges that we're facing?
So I think maybe one of the biggest challenges we're facing, Jeff, is the growth. Managing the growth well, and so we've had manageable growth in Lawrence County where it hasn't put us. A lot of counties, they're growing so fast that they can't keep up with it, so it kind of puts the county behind the eight ball, if you will. We've been able to manage our growth well, and we've had steady growth, and but that's something we're looking at down the road because Tennessee is still in the top 4 most moved to states in America, so it's still a very destination point for a lot of people. And the thing is, once people move here and they get to know us, they get to know our culture, they get to see how great it is to live in Tennessee, they start making phone calls, and they start making Facebook posts, and a lot of their friends maybe that are looking for a move from whether it's the West Coast or up north or whatever.
Right.
We're arguably still the lowest tax state in America, so that's a huge incentive for people to move here. I think there's 9 states left, maybe, and don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but that don't have a state income tax, and we're one of those 9 states. And so, anyway, but that's one of our biggest things. But hey, we're prepared for growth, and we're prepared for the future. We have a lot of things in place, man. We've got a huge budget surplus right now that we've been able to set aside, and we're very healthy in that regard. So if there are some growing pains that we see come, we're able to have a little bit of a cushion there to be able to help with that, which is wise. And then as far as creating opportunity. Hey, a cool thing that happened last week was I got to sign into law our current property tax rate, and it's 1.48. It came down from 2.01 to 1.48, which is a 26% decrease in the actual property tax rate. Of course, you won't see a whole lot of difference when you pay your bill. Some people pay a little less, some people pay a little more, but because of equalization. But what's cool about that is it's the lowest rate in the history of our county that we've been able to research and find. So that's very significant. And when industry is looking to move somewhere, they look, if they can find a sub 2 rate, like if it's below 2, they see a 1 on the front side of that property tax. That's a big incentive for them because they're coming in and investing $100 million or $200 million like Magna did.
Yeah.
And 26% less is a big deal for them annually in their bottom line. So anyway, I'm very proud of that. And that has a little bit to do with the county and how we manage things and how things move forward. It has a lot to do with the state overall and how the economy in the state is doing and the demand on housing, the demand on property. Creates a lot of the inflation of costs that we've seen. You're in the real estate business,
Absolutely, yeah.
You know all about it. But again, sound fiscal management's a huge part of that as well. And I'm thankful for the commission and all of our team that's been working so hard to manage our finances in such a way where when the state said, hey, here's our recommended rate to equalize everything, we didn't have to add 20 cents to that. We didn't have to add 30 cents to that, which the commission could do that if they needed to. But because we've managed our money well, we're able to keep it exactly where the state recommended it to be.
Right.
So yeah, that's exciting.
Very good. Very, very good. Well, how are you keeping it all straight with that?
With my calendar, and
Your
sometimes
calendar,
I miss
the
that.
calendar, because you guys are busy people anyway. But I know that behind every good man there is a stressed out woman.
I would say organized chaos.
Organized chaos. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it may be in shambles, but I know where every shamble is,
Yeah.
and I can find it, and I can point you to.
She can
that
lasso a
direction.
tornado better than anybody I've ever seen. It's kind of our life. Is her.
At least I try.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do my best.
She really does a great job. We have 5 children. It's of course one of them's married off now. One of them's working on getting married, and we've got 4 still living at the house. But it's a busy time. Got a freshman starting this year. We got a 6th grader going into middle school, and that makes me very nervous. And because my daughter's going to middle school,
I know. Yeah.
She is
and
gonna
then
rock
Titus,
it.
of course, 3rd grade. He's living his best life.
He's on the big dog hall now. He thinks he's something.
Yeah.
Well,
So LPS is divided into 2.
when they're that age, the whole world revolves around them. Period.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, even at breakfast this morning, everybody's worried about Titus, whether he ate his eggs or whether he was eating his bacon. He went straight for that Mickey Mouse pancake and
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, chocolate milk and Mickey Mouse pancake first, and then the protein. If he
Yeah.
had any room, he ate a little bit of protein. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's a turkey.
Well, David, I know it's been a campaigning season. What's been some of the big challenges for you with recent commission meetings and things like that?
Well, this last week I put out a video kind of updating the county on what happened in that meeting. A lot of good things happened in that meeting. That certified tax rate was passed, which was a huge thing for us. My budget got passed, which was awesome. There was really no conflict with the budget. We actually got pretty aggressive on this year's budget because we have been able to save money over the last several years. We were able to step up and do more things. Capital projects and various things. Like for the sheriff's department, we were able to put in an allotment of money to buy some new patrol cars for them. They've got some cars that are considerably old, have over 200,000 miles on them, and so we're able to get some new cars for them. And one of the big things, Jeff, that I'm really happy about and excited about. When I first came into office, I started the Emergency Services Committee. And we began to have a committee where you can sit down and talk about all things emergency services.
Right.
I put on that committee, I put 4 commissioners on one side of the table and put 3 first responder professionals that do it every day for, that's what they do with their life. And so we sat down and made a lot of decisions. Well, one thing we noticed early on was our emergency and medical service, EMS, was underpaid, and it was understaffed. We were we had 4 ambulances on the schedule, but we rarely ran 4. We only ran 3 most of the time because we couldn't keep enough staff to staff 4.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that was we were the lowest paid county EMS in this region. And so I'm proud of what we've been able to do with EMS. And I'm telling you that because it's a progression. You can't build Rome overnight. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So the first year we were able to give them a considerable raise and we were able to get our staffing numbers up. The third year in office, we were able to put a 5th ambulance into rotation, which we were supposed to have 4 years ago, but we were only running 4, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
And then the other night, cool thing we were able to pass was we changed their schedule from 24 hours on, 48 hours off, to 24 hours on, 72 hours off. And so, again, we're the only ambulance service in this region that still has a 24/48 service. And so that's causing us issues with staffing now as well. A lot of the other counties have gone to that over the last 4 years. And so we were able to do that. It cost us a little bit more money to do that. And that was a big part of our budget this year. But I'm excited about it. And we're already seeing applications come flying in. People want to work here because we got a great team. We got a great culture. We got great leadership. Michelle Ayers does a great job, and Kane Watkins, and then the whole team, all the supervisors, they all do good. But it's just, you got to be competitive. You got to be competitive in the marketplace with pay.
Sure.
And so,
Anyway, what it takes now to keep good people, yeah.
Yeah, and they deal with a lot of trauma, man. They see, they're there trying to put our families back together.
Yeah,
they're trying to save lives. I probably couldn't do that job. I mean, I like to think I can do a lot of different things and would love to try that, but like that's a tough job, and those people.
Well, I can speak to that firsthand.
Yeah, she's in the medical field.
I've been a nurse for a long time, but even doing home care, how many times did I rely on EMS to come and help me as a nurse out in the county with a patient that had a low blood sugar or was having cardiac issues and needed transported? Like,
yeah,
I know the value of having them right there. The response time is huge. Yeah. It's great because we are able to put that 5th ambulance into function.
Yeah.
But I mean, giving them that extra time away. I mean, as a mom, I can't imagine working a 24-hour shift, not seeing my kids, and then only having just a little bit of time to rest and then be with them and then get right back. Yeah. Not to mention if I came up on some horrible tragedy, how my mind would be.
Sure.
How long would it take me to recover from that
and move on?
Special
people to do that.
They really are. And I've just grown in my level of respect and honor for them, and their voice matters. And we've been able to create through this committee opportunity for all of them. They're on the front lines out there being first responders to get the help they need and to get the funding they need. I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, that's my job. My job as a CFO of the county is to make sure we fund everything in this county to the best of our ability. And so, I don't think we ever go wrong investing in our people. And because we've got great people here in Lawrence County, they need to be taken care of. And because they're the ones going to be taking care of us when the moment comes. These EMS people have been there for my parents. And I think my parents are alive today because we had competent and qualified and people that were on the spot, and they were there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm able to keep my mom and daddy around. Last night we had a prayer meeting, worship night out at the lakes, and my dad administered communion for us, and it was just a beautiful night.
It was beautiful.
I was thinking 81. He just turned 81, and EMS has been there. They've helped my dad to take care of him, and
your mom too,
and my mother. Yeah. So
when she was sick, and would not listen to me, I said, "Let me call my friend. She'll be over here in a minute. They'll come take care of you." And because of her diabetes and her other issues, she didn't know what was going on. And I said, "Listen, she has to go to the hospital. I don't care what she tells you. Y'all got to talk her into getting on your cot and getting her out of here." They floated in and handled her with such care and compassion and gentleness.
Yeah.
And she was never more so happy to hop in there and go with them.
That's right. She wasn't listening to you.
She wasn't having anything I was saying at that point because she was so sick. She didn't understand what was going on.
Well, that's when she was septic.
Yeah,
right?
She was septic. And I was like, you have no option. So they did a great job.
Yeah, Stephanie is my mom's caregiver. On top of, all the other things she does, I think her favorite thing to do is go help my mama. She's over there probably every day doing something with her.
That's awesome.
Blood sugar and all the things she does, the insulin pump and all that. So, yeah, mom will call sometimes 11 o'clock at night. Well, actually, Stephanie has the app on her phone that monitors my mom's blood
That's what
sugar.
was buzzing a minute ago.
And so it'll just start telling her what's going on. So we know if mom snuck in there and ate a piece of cake or yeah.
or if she's walked away from her phone. Or...
Stephanie will be like, your mother's eating Swiss rolls or something right now.
Hey, but when you're almost 80 years old, y'all better feed me a Swiss roll. I'm gonna be mad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be real mad.
I need something to monitor what I eat, for heaven's sake. So,
Well, I mean, there's this app.
No.
Well, another, if I mean, you asked about the last meeting. Of course, you're very much aware of the other big deal that was going on.
Yeah, I was going to get to that because obviously the data center has been a huge controversy in the county or in the city, and it's actually more of a city issue than a county, but it became a county issue.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people don't understand the lines of jurisdiction in county government.
Yeah.
Lawrenceburg is Lawrence County, but Lawrence County government does not have any kind of authority or jurisdiction in the city of Lawrenceburg unless there's some huge natural disaster. The county county executive makes decisions in the midst of like a moment of emergency that affects the entire county. But with this data center deal, man, it's it's something the city planning commission did, and they follow. I mean, you just look back at the facts, and that's the thing, man. There's just so many. I'm gonna use the misinformation. There's so much misinformation out there, and the Bible uses a more simple word for misinformation. But
Yes.
yeah. So there's a lot of that going on, a lot of fear, and listen, fear is a motivator. It moves you, and no matter what, and so a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are afraid.
Well, have you? This is bound to have caused you to learn more about data centers.
Yes, I have been drinking out of a fire hose for the last 4 months, man. Really, I mean,
Oh.
yeah. So
We don't say DC at our house.
That's a
That is
dirty
an
word.
ugly word.
Oh,
We don't
yeah,
talk about
we
that.
try to talk. So, I will say, and I totally, and I've said this numerous times. I am not a fan. Well, let me put it this way. I probably hate data centers more than anybody in this county at this point.
Except for me.
At this point in time, just because of all the mess,
Whether it be good or
Like,
bad.
look, Philip, Heatherly, and I, we ran respectable campaigns. We're shaking hands the whole way through. Nobody's heckling us. Nobody's just making ridiculous AI images of us on Facebook every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that went well. I was fortunate enough to win that. He and I shook hands. We're friends to this day. I mean, it wasn't a week or two later, it seems like, all heck breaks loose with this data center stuff. So there's nobody in Lawrence County that hates data centers more than me. I'm just going to say that right now. I wish we could just roll back the clock and be like,
And
Let's
it never
try
came up.
again.
right. I mean, and that's selfish.
It'd
for me
be
to
nice
say.
if it never came up, right?
That's selfish for me to say that. But at the same time, you've got to be honest, right? You've got to look at the facts and not let fear misconstrue the facts. And so the facts on this data center, one, is that the county had no say in any of it. And even if the county commission did have a vote, I don't even have a vote on the county commission. It was funny the other night, the people that are in opposition to me, what they didn't bother noticing in the county commission meeting is my name didn't get called to vote on anything,
Right.
I'm the county executive. So, but yet at the end, we're voting, they're yelling, we're voting out David Morgan, and I'm like, I'm over here like, y'all look, I don't have whatever. They know, but they do what they want to do. So, but again, this building is going to be 50,000 square feet roughly. I saw the prints and plans the other day. All right, it's 6.5 acres. They're taking up all 6.5 acres with driveways and parking lot and all that. So the idea that they're going to copy and paste this building and build 5 of them on the same 6.5 acres, that's not going to happen because of all the water drainage and things that they need for the building water drain. The roof, not
Yeah.
the water in the building is not going to be drained into the creek.
Talk about retention water,
Yes,
like for rain and all
that's
that.
right. That's right. You got to have it's called civil engineering plans, right?
Sure.
So I saw all of that, 50,000 square feet. It's going to have a chiller on it. So when they say a closed loop cooling system, and a lot of people are like just making up audacious claims about closed loop cooling systems having chemicals in them that's like going to destroy the earth. We have a closed loop cooling system at Lawrence County High School. We have a closed loop cooling system at the courthouse. We have one at the hospital. Like they're on any building over a certain size, it would be financially negligent to use Freon to pump through the whole building, through all these lines everywhere. Instead, what a chiller does, it uses Freon at the chiller to cool water and to heat water, to cool water, and then it uses a boiler to heat water in the wintertime. But cool water and pump it back into the building through condensing coils and or through evaporator coils, and then it blows a fan across it and it cools the building down. Does it need more cooling than an average 50,000 square foot building? Yes, because those processors and those computers do get warm, just like ours do.
It gets warm in here.
Yeah, you got a rack of computers on the wall there. So again, it's a 50,000 square foot, and look, the final numbers on water usage have come out. It's going to use anywhere from 30 to 50 gallons of water per day. Jeff, we use more than that at our house. I mean, Stephanie's got the washing machine's going all day
I
long.
do 6 loads of laundry a day,
Yeah.
roughly,
Yeah.
on average. Some days it's 1, but I mean 6 full loads of laundry.
Yeah, she does a lot of
Like that's less.
Anyway,
than
Listen,
most
I've
of the
decided
time.
you're an environmental hazard.
I am. I should stop doing laundry.
Well, listen, and I'm not trying to poke fun, even though we're trying to laugh a little bit through this because it's just been so
Yeah.
crazy, right? But I understand people's fears, I really do, and I've never, and I've said the whole time, I'm not for these large scale data centers out in the county, like, but again, we don't have, and so the issue the other night was a temporary moratorium be put in place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a moratorium is simply a pause on a particular type of project or whatever. So
Sure.
the advice from our county attorney was that that's not legal for us to do, and there is precedent for that. And so,
Well, you could agree or disagree with the attorney. Okay, and some of them did disagree with the attorney. But for the most part, the county commission usually listens to the county attorney on issues. They don't
we have a
always,
legal responsibility.
They don't always, but
Yeah.
but you do have a legal responsibility. But
Yeah.
but kind of playing devil's advocate here. I'm like, what would have been the harm in passing that?
So what that would do for us is,
And I know you didn't have a vote in it, but I
Yeah.
know that. But I'm just saying, if the county commission had voted to do this,
yeah.
what was the attorney's concern?
So the concern is that you infringe upon personal property rights. So it puts the county in a legal position to have to defend this law. 2, state law requires, before you can pass a moratorium or anything like that, and it be legal. Now, listen, a commission can pass anything they want. It doesn't mean it's going to stand up in court, okay?
Yeah.
So, and other counties have proven that. Grundy County has proven that with a moratorium they passed a couple years ago on a landfill. Well, I mean, not a landfill, but a rock quarry.
Okay.
And it got struck down in court, and it cost them several $1 million to defend themselves and pay the legal fees of the rock quarry and pay the damages of the rock quarry for the amount of time they lost money because they couldn't build their rock quarry. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
they're going to come after you, especially if you're government and you're going to pass and you don't do your due diligence and pass laws that are going to stand up in court. Then let me tell you something: private industry is going to come after you. So it puts us in legal jeopardy. One. State law says that you have to have zoning in place before you can add more zoning recs. So that basically what a moratorium is, it's something you add to your zoning package, right? You've already got zoning in place. A lot of counties have that. We don't. We don't have codes in this county. We don't have zoning in this county. And when I say county, I mean unincorporated parts of the county, not the cities.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Outside of the city, there is no zoning. And listen, I run into this a lot in the real estate business because people coming from somewhere else.
I can't believe it.
They're buying property out in the county, and they go, "Can you? What's the zoning out here? What's the codes out here?" And I say, "Well, there's not any." And they go, "You're kidding."
Well, and I've got a form letter in my office, and probably some of your customers have had to have it for their loan from their bank or whatever.
Yeah.
We have to give a letter that says Lawrence County government does not have zoning and code requirements for XXX, and so. And we send that letter to a lot of people that are buying property in Lawrence County.
And so far, our county commission has said that's the way we want it.
Yes, and I think the majority of Lawrence Countyans, for the most part, and it may be because, it's a conversation we're going to keep having because we need to always have these conversations and we need to always look at the facts. But yeah, the only way, and here's the deal, you give up liberty. If you add a zoning package to this county, then that means government, first of all, we got to expand government. It's going to cost us more money to have people to enforce zoning and codes, right?
Right.
And then, then you're going to give up liberty on your own property, and it could get so bad like it is maybe in Williamson County, Murray County, that you've got to have permission to put an outbuilding outside your house, or build a deck on the back of your house, or paint your house. I mean, and the thing is, once you open that door, it's a Pandora's box, and from there on, every year they can layer more and more and more and more laws on top of it, and that's what you see in a lot of other places. And so, keeping the door closed to zoning and codes just keeps us from having to deal with that. But then you see issues like this come up.
Right.
Well, what do we do? Is there an industrial project that's going to show up in the middle of nowhere in Lawrence County and consume all kinds of land?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be opposed to taking a phone call?
Sure. Let's
okay.
go.
Let's see what happens. Hey, good morning. You're on with us.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, this is one of my concerns. If the county executive and the mayor's office don't seem to know things, who are you supposed to talk to in line of authority? And I'm going to go to a second subject. I've already done the research on this, and I don't do social media. I do deep dives, and I know it can be wrong. But if AI is wrong, then why are we spending all this money on these data centers? But the point is, I've been doing research on whether or not to move my retirement account here. But I am finding, and I hope to goodness I'm wrong about this, I'm praying about it, that FDIC does not cover, the Federal Deposit Insurance does not cover breaches if it's from outside, like cyber attacks and things like this. Now, I pulled it up several different searches looking for this to see if this is true. The organization I have it in does carry this. It has been breached. That's why I'm so hard getting information. I want to make sure Lawrenceburg has people that you can appoint. It could be a real estate agent, a lawyer, somebody to go to the meetings that can understand ramifications. Like I said, I hope this is wrong, but I'm leery of rolling over my account now. If FDIC and a lot of banks, and if you have to check with the individual banks, but these are just questions that I'm not sure people really know. If they're not in conjunction with the governor's office, the senators, and higher level people, and I don't want to worry about this. I'm just saying, this is my understanding, and I hope I'm wrong. Bye.
All right. I'm not 100% sure where she was going with that, but I've talked with Peggy enough to know she's been concerned about breaches in security, which doesn't really have a lot to do with what we're talking about here at this moment. But But the FDIC has nothing to do with county government.
So let me talk about some of that breach and security stuff.
Yeah.
So just to fill in everyone, that data centers are not a new thing, right? It's not new technology. They've been around for quite some time. It's just the demand for them is getting higher and higher because of AI technology. So I will say this: there are always scams going on in America, and that a lot of those are from without, not from within. There are constant scams going on through our phones and through our computers, through email, through various things. And now, what's happened where in the past that was a computer programmer had to build a scam program and send it out. Now AI is just building those things over and over and over again, and they're copying and pasting and building it at lightning speed. And so you're seeing, I mean, there's people try to scam me through my phone. There's stuff like that's going on. So I think
it happens to everybody.
I think the FDIC, I don't know much about all of that, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. I think her first part of her question was, who's supposed to know about this stuff? So let me just kind of break down how these things happen. So the commission, the Lawrence County Commission, has numerous committees. And I statutorily by law, I'm the head of a handful of those committees. But I'm not on all those committees. And so I think there's about 20 different committees, and I'm not on all of those. And so I do go to some of those committee meetings when I can. They meet in the evenings because the commissioners, serve mostly in the evenings. During the day, they get their jobs. And my job during the day is to be the CEO of the county, CFO of the county. So I'm working there. So I don't get to go to all of those. And so sometimes I'm there and I try to be there. When it comes to economic development projects, we have a committee called Economic Development, Tourism, and Nonprofit Committee in the county government. The Chamber of Commerce, we contract with them to do our economic development and our tourism for the county.
Right.
And I'm going to say this, there's nobody better at that than our team. Nobody. The Chamber of Commerce in Lawrenceburg is one of the most renowned in the state of Tennessee. Ryan Egley is one of the most renowned leaders. So a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you know about this? Or why didn't you know about that? Well, every single week they get calls about that request for information for industrial projects. Hey, where's this? Where's that? Where's this? And most of the time, we as a county government would know about it if it required selling land in the county industrial park.
Yeah.
We would know about it a little earlier than normal. Like, hey, he would come to me when he first hears from this company and feels like they're pretty serious, like with the Magna deal. I mean, Magna happened, phone call happened, and within 3 or 4 months, a deal was on the table. Like, we were getting them here. We didn't want to let grass grow under our feet. It's a $200 million investment. You know, it's 200 something jobs right now. So we did. But so what happens is we weren't involved in this one at all because they didn't buy land from the county. They bought private land from private individuals. So, and even with the chamber, that deal is going on kind of behind the scenes. The company has reached out to this family and is buying land from them. So it's not even something the chamber's brokering a deal, say, between the county industrial park land and the potential buyer. So that's why that wasn't. So this is kind of a unique situation for me. It's the first one. It's the first one that's been built. There's been a couple different plants built in my tenure that aren't in the industrial park, but so we don't have anything to do with it unless it's in our industrial park land. So, and then a lot of times they ask for a tax abatement. You know, they want a deal. Magna wanted a deal on property taxes, and so anyway, the commission voted to give them a 60-40 deal for 20 years, and now we're getting 40 instead of getting. Instead of getting 100%, we're getting 40% of their property tax dollars for the next 20 years, and then we'll get 100%. But 40% of what they currently built, $200 million, is a lot more than 100% of nothing, right?
That's true.
So anyway, it's kind of how that works. And so, but here's the deal too. All of those requests for information, they don't report all of that to the county commission. They meet with the commission on quarterly basis in these committee meetings, and sometimes you get. I mean, people come down to the wire and they decide not to come here. And so the chamber updates us on the projects that they think are possible, maybe some that might be in the works. And then once some finality comes, and that's when I found out about this was April 1st. Finality had come on this data center when the land had been purchased and the deed, the deal was done, the deed was transferred. It was reported then in a chamber board meeting that I was in, hey, so-and-so land sold to so-and-so investment company, and they're going to build a data center. So that was April 1st. And then, we've all, even Stephanie, we've had to learn about data centers. She's tired of hearing about it and doesn't want to learn anything about it. But that's kind of how that works. And so there's a lot of requests for information. There's a lot of details that, we just don't. We don't get all those details all the time.
Well, I haven't went into the detail I'm sure that you guys have, but I've been into enough to figure out that, of course, I've been in data centers. When I worked for a Lee company, even with DRM, there was data centers that we went into, and there's a plethora of types of data centers. And there, if we really were looking at an AI data center with those massive things, that is something to be environmentally concerned about. But I've come to the conclusion, at least personally, that what we've got here is not that big a concern. It's a minute.
I think we're fortunate in that.
Going to be okay.
We're fortunate in that regard for sure. And you asked what would happen if they passed the moratorium. So it put us in. It would put us in legal jeopardy. I was in favor, and I still am, of a temporary, voluntary moratorium.
Yeah.
Which. Well, we can. Yeah, hold on. Let me finish this thought.
Yeah, go ahead and finish.
A temporary voluntary moratorium, which wouldn't put us in legal jeopardy. It would still create a study committee, which is what the moratorium was seeking to do. Yeah. And then it would also, it would respectfully ask Lawrence County citizens, hey, if somebody approaches you to buy a huge swath of land, swath of land, it's 1,000 acres or 500 acres, whatever. We are working this year to study this thing out, and we're just asking you to. Ask you to push pause. Go ahead and get that.
All right, let's get one more phone call here, maybe. Good morning. How are you? Oh, I missed him. Hey, you can call back. We want to take your call. I'll just let him finish the thought. It's 8:45, and we still got a good 15 minutes here. Let's see if this works this time. Hey, good morning. You're on the air with us.
Close your
Hey, Jerry.
I just think it's time that somebody thanks this man and this family for what they do for this community. I've been in business since 2016, and I've watched the economy grow like crazy, especially construction. I mean, I ride in the streets and I see all these people, and just want to thank David for what he's done for the community and for other people in the community, not just regular people, but the people in the sober living houses and all the blessings that he's helped provide for all these people. Just want to say thank you to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Jerry.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you, man.
Bring me some ice cream.
That's right.
No. It's the apple nachos.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
The apple
apple
nachos.
nachos,
I'm
yeah.
just telling
He
you.
brought some of those in here one morning, so yeah, they're good.
Those are good.
Jerry stopped by the corner the other day and he brought, I about was in tears. It was the sweetest thing. Brought us a big bowl and some apples and the chips and
All the
homemade
makings.
caramel.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Bowls,
Yeah.
a cutting board, the whole 9 yards so I could make a treat for my kids wherever we were. And it was amazing. And
Well,
Jerry,
hold on.
that
Now
was,
that the kids have gone back to school, I'll just come home. We'll do that for lunch.
there's a few left. There's some
Okay.
scraps
All right,
left.
all right.
But you know, when you hear that music playing, you follow the truck.
That's right.
Jerry's got it figured out.
I was showing a house one day not too long ago, and I seen his in the distance, and I was waving him, trying to get him to come over there, but he didn't see me. So.
Yeah, even adults like ice cream. I mean, come on.
Everybody does.
Well, that was a good segue into there. Jeff, there's been so many good things that's happened in this county. And, you know, after the primary, my goal was to talk about all the progress we've made and talk about the future. And,
Yeah.
you know, again, we had to deal with the current issue at hand, and this data center thing has a lot of Lawrence Countyans concerned. And I'm
Sure.
concerned with you. Listen, man, I've got a farm out in Piney, and we hope to live out there someday. And you know, I want my children to have farmland, and I want it to look like Piney 25 years from now, right?
Sure.
But growth is, you know, change is inevitable, but change is inevitable, but progress is optional. Something my dad's always said, and you know, it's how you manage change, it's how you manage growth that will determine how profitable and how good it is in the long run. And I just want people to know that, man, I'm very much aware and very much on board with preserving who we are, our culture, our agricultural lifestyle here. You know, when I came into office, I started another committee called Property Development and Codes, because every 4 years the county has to either vote yes or no on state codes, and so they always vote no. But that's where that conversation would be had. And I put on that committee, Property Development Committee, I put Ernie Jones, who is the chairman of Farm Bureau Board. He's a farmer here.
Yeah, I know Ernie.
Yeah, I put John Rose, which is, you know, one of the largest row crop operations in Lawrence County. I put him on there. I put Justin Holt on there, who's a civil engineer, and then I had commissioners on the committee as well, all to answer the questions that we are currently trying to answer. Right?
Right.
At least have a committee that is there for people to come to and say, hey, we want to come and talk about, we're here, we heard there's a data center maybe coming to Lawrence County. Well, we could have convened the Property Development Committee. They could have come in there and talked to our committee about it, brought evidence, brought this, brought that, concerns, fears, whatever. We can bring experts in that committee to talk to us. We could get people from TVA to come in and say, hey, here's kind of what we're looking at, and here's what's going on in the Tennessee Valley when it comes to data centers. And so, but again, that committee was deleted after my first year in office by the new chairman. So, and essentially this moratorium was just going to put another committee back in place, right, to do the exact same thing that I had foreseen in when I was running for office that was necessary. We need a committee to talk about this stuff because there's roads that's been built and houses that have been built down roads, and the roads were not built to our county requirements. And so you get 20 houses and you got 40 kids running around a little neighborhood, and next thing you know, they got potholes the size of this desk, and the bus won't go down the road anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was hearing about out on the campaign trail 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to say we finally got one of those over the finish line in last week's commission meeting, Michael Drive. It's out Fall River Road, and you know, those folks, they put together the money necessary to bring their road up to spec, and now the county's going to take over the road. So there needs to be and the county commission has put in a rule now about how those roads are developed. So that's why I started that whole committee and had
Now,
that whole
now
conversation.
having rules on how a road is developed is different than codes.
Yeah, codes are, you got plumbing, you got foundation, you got framing codes. Of course, we have electrical codes in this county. Every
Sure.
county does. And I grew up as an electrician and wiring houses with my dad on the weekends. And at 5, 6 years old, pulling home
Sure.
runs through the attic. And I always looked forward to the inspector coming out and putting that blue sticker on the panel. It made us feel accomplished,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we don't, the majority of Lawrence County is just don't want to have, and a codes department's expensive. And
Yeah.
even though you charge fees, it doesn't pay the cost, right?
Yeah.
The cost is going to be covered with property tax dollars as well. So, yeah, I don't think that's something Lawrence County wants, in the majority, codes or zoning, and I'm not promoting those two things. Not promoting those two things at all. I am saying we need a committee that's on the record, that's publicized, where citizens can come and talk to the commission, and we have these difficult conversations. And I mean, I'm not scared to have those conversations. And so I think it's important that leadership is willing to sit down and listen, and have discussions that are necessary. But yeah, I was planning on talking about all the good stuff that's happened, man. We've invested more money in roads than ever. And I mean, when we drive out to our farm, according to which road you go on, you're on a pretty fresh road, and that's a big deal. We don't have to change.
Right.
We don't have to change our suspension parts quite as often, even though yours needs to go to the shop.
It's fine.
You've hit too many curbs in it.
No.
But anyways, so we've invested more money in roads than ever in the history of our county. We've paid off $18.5 million of debt in the last 4 years. We have built new facilities at our schools over the last 4 years. We're planning to build more new facilities at our schools. Looking forward to, once the sale of the Southern Tennessee Higher Education Center is finished, we're looking forward to parlaying that money over into a project with the Lawrence County School System to build a new gym at Summertown, to build a multi-use facility at Lawrence County High School, and to build tennis courts at Loretta High School. And so, those are just some of the things down the road we're looking forward to doing, and
Sure.
and getting to build those buildings is a legacy type thing, and I'm excited about that, and so much good stuff. Go ahead.
Well, just coming from Murfreesboro, I went to a private Christian school, and we had little rivalries or whatever. But being a transplant into Lawrenceburg, and my kids are, Lawrenceburg Public in the high school and Kaufman. Well, I didn't realize just how significant, maybe is the right word, the rivalries between the three schools is.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
big.
it's intense. But I had the opportunity to go down and sit at Loretto High School gym while they had a play day down there for the middle school girls. And I'm sitting around looking at all these people and thinking, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then Saturday, we were out on the corner and waving and smiling and getting a couple thumbs down, but the majority of the people were so positive and honking and waving and all the things.
Yeah.
Well, then Saturday night, we had the opportunity to go up to meet the Eagles. And we walked in, and it's uncharacteristically cool and beautiful. The weather on
Oh
Saturday
yeah,
night.
right now
It's just crazy,
yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
But we got to just hang out and talk and visit, and it was like meeting with family. They're like, look at this field, look at this, look at here, look at the space of the food trucks, look at, and it was just amazing. And then we were sitting in the bleachers, and I was like, this is what our county is.
That's right.
Coming together, celebrating, being positive. Enough with the negative. Like, my cup is 98% full most of the time.
Yeah.
If it gets lower than that, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And I try to be happy. I try to be kind. So I just let the negative roll off my back. But all that being said, the way this community comes together and celebrates each other and cheers each other on,
Yeah.
Picks each other up when they're down, hey, let's do a GoFundMe, or hey, let's do a bake sale, or there's a fish fry for this community club, or whatever.
Right.
That is so amazing.
It
You
really,
don't have
really
that in
is.
Murfreesboro.
You just didn't have that in Murfreesboro.
You just don't have that
And
in
we want to
Murfreesboro.
protect. I mean, that's who
That's
we are. We
important
want
to
to protect
me.
that culture and fight for that. And a friend of mine, Chad Powell, he was just saying, man, I'm pulling for you. Sorry about all this mess you're going through. He says, I don't know why you're even doing it anymore, after all the mess. And And I said, man, just look around. I said, look around this football complex here at Summertown. I said, look at all these kids. Look at all these people out here. They're proud and they're excited about this program, and they're excited about this new facility. I said, dude, that's why I'm doing it. And
100%.
that's why I'm doing it. And
Yeah.
to me, that far outweighs all the negativity and the crazy. And
Yeah.
and look, there are people that genuinely need some help out there, Jeff. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there are people that have no joy in life. There are people that have no
So sad.
peace in life. You know, there are people that have no purpose beyond trying to tear other people down. And
Yeah.
and to me, that's heartbreaking. And I'm not, you know, do I get aggravated with those people? Yes, I'm human. But at the end of the day, most days I'm like, Lord, I don't know what you got to do to get to them, but if somehow through me, you know, they can see you, they need you. They need your peace. They need your joy. They need your strength in their life. They need your gentleness, meekness, kindness, self-control, you know, patience. They need that. They need your peace, you know.
Mhm.
I really, my heart goes out to people that just wake up angry or afraid every day of everything.
I can't wait till social media goes back to the happy stuff.
It'll, yeah.
Like, hey, my kid hit a home run, or my grandson threw a 7 million yard touchdown.
That's what I like to see as well.
Like,
Yeah, me too. I like to see the
like,
good.
here's a new recipe for a carrot cake. Like, come on,
But
people.
Jeff, we've traveled. Stephanie's
Find
gone.
the joy.
Stephanie's gone with me different places around the world, and we do missionary work in Rwanda. And people just need to get outside of this country for just a few weeks
Then you'd realize what we have.
and see how blessed we are. This is the greatest place in the history of the world. And listen, our life expectancy is up to like 78 years old or something
Yeah.
like that. I mean, Americans are so blessed, and that's the deal. We're living in the midst of blessing,
Yeah.
and we only see the lack. But
Yeah.
that's a perspective issue, and Stephanie knows this, and she's helped me with this. My wife is probably the most positive person I've ever met in my life. She's
Yeah.
not one of those women that's always like tearing other women down to feel good about herself kind of thing. She's just naturally joyful and knows who she is. She's confident and loves people. And she taught me just through watching her life that we have so much to be thankful for. every day.
Amen to that. Yeah.
I'm just not gonna live my life being ungrateful. This country, you know, win, lose, or draw on Thursday, and I hope we win. I don't like losing anything, and I want to keep doing what we've been doing. I want to keep helping Lawrence County, but if we don't, you know, at the end of the day, we know God's in control, and we know we're going to be fine. And you know, I might golf a little more. I might fish a little more. I might work on my farm a little more. You know what I'm saying? I might spend more time building, you know, our future as opposed to trying to build the county's future. But
Yeah.
but at the same time, I would love the opportunity to continue to serve. And what do you think, babe? How much have you enjoyed being involved in all of this?
Well, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's just a blessing. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need a platform. I don't need a stand. I don't need a stage. Don't give me a microphone. I don't care. I'll be the first one to take out the trash because that's where the need is.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to give you a Band-Aid. You know, if you need a pair of shoes, here you go. I'm not rich by any means. I'm just extremely blessed. And, you know, going on trips, you know, we just have a blast together. We just have fun.
Yeah.
And is it always peaches and cream? Is it always roses and sunshine? No, definitely
Nobody is.
not.
Well, as long as you're around, baby, it is.
That's
Oh,
it.
No, this guy.
Yeah.
It's been a joy to serve Lawrence County. I mean, I saw a girl yesterday in Kroger, and I see her all the time, and she's precious, sweet girl that I'm not going to name drop, but sweet girl that stocks the dairy section,
Yeah.
and she's like, I didn't realize you were who you are because you're a real person.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, you probably see me at my best dressed up. Here we go. And then you see me sliding in looking like I've ran into a brick wall after a ball game. I said, well, you know, I just love people. And she said, you're just the kindest person that I think I've ever met.
Oh.
And I said, well, I don't, you know, it's Jesus. It's
No, and I have to
10
say
of
that's
10
true.
Jesus.
That's true. My wife, and that's the only way our marriage works is that she's just such a sweetheart. You know, she puts up with all the stuff I drag our family through.
Well, people say, how do you stand hearing people talk about your husband? Number one, I know that that's not true. I know that's not his character. I know that's not who he is. I know God's gonna take care of us, and we'll see. He'll see us through, whatever
That's
the case may be.
That's right.
Amen.
Need people to get out and vote Thursday. It's a big deal.
Thursday.
It is this Thursday, isn't it?
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah.
do this.
We want to encourage folks to vote for sure.
Yeah. And we love the opportunity to keep serving Lawrence County. And no
Yes.
matter what, win, lose, or draw, we're going to keep serving
All right.
in other capacities. So,
And if you don't know where your local voting precinct is, please call the election office. They will get you straightened out.
Yeah.
All right.
Do not get your information.
Oh, don't
from
forget
Facebook.
Bulls and Barrels coming up the 29th of August.
That's
John
right.
Easy on the Fried Cornbread Band.
Ooh,
We
yes.
love that. Love that. Well, we've run out of time, guys. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks,
See you
Jeff.
next time.
Take care. See you.
Good luck Thursday.
All right. Right on time.
We turned it off.
Ha ha.